Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. This is a quarterly update on the best-selling Nintendo Switch games, this time as of June 2022. There is some things to talk about. So yeah, let's get to it. So this quarter there was no change in the top 10. There was no shifts within the top 10. There were no new games that entered the top 10. In this quarter as well, there were 4 games that sold over 1 million units, which were Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario Strikers Battle League, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So overall, the top 10 is still the same. Not any changes at all. Kirby. So overall, Switch hardware has increased by about 3.5 million units this quarter, and software wise, it is down by about it's down by less than 10% this quarter, which is showing that sign that the Switch is starting to age a bit. But I do see the Switch will definitely become the best-selling Nintendo console in terms of software, and it has a chance of achieving best-selling console of all time in terms of hardware. So overall, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe does continue to extend its lead in first place. And it was the only game that hadn't released in 2022 that had sold over 1 million units in that quarter. Another big surprise was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which managed to was the third best selling game of the quarter, behind Mario Strikers Battle League and Nintendo Switch Sports, and that is a big shocker. And there was a chart that Nintendo had posted showing that Kirby's first around about 15 weeks was better than the lifetime sales of Kirby Star Allies and that 3DS Kirby game. But yeah, that's very impressive considering that Kirby is generally not a strong Nintendo franchise. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land is likely going to become the best-selling Kirby game of all time. It's not currently the best-selling. The best-selling Kirby of all time is Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, which is at about 5 million units. So it still has a little bit to go, not a massive amount. Overall, the big game of this quarter was Nintendo Switch Sports, which sold about 5 million units, and it is like a sequel to Wii Sports Club on the Wii U, you could say, which was the last time we saw a Wii Sports title. Technically, it's not a Wii Sports title, but I just put it under that general branch, because it does like follow up to Wii Sports. But overall, that probably was very big, mainly due to mainly because of Wii Sports' prior success in the Wii era. Nintendo Switch Sports was probably likely to be recognized as like a sequel, and that was why many people bought the game. I think if Wii Sports hadn't existed or not been bundled to that degree, then not a lot of people would have bought Nintendo Switch Sports. But because it was bundled to a very high degree, 80% of Wii owners actually got Wii Sports. Which is very high. That would mean Nintendo Switch Sports is going to have some success. Overall, I think Nintendo Switch Sports seems to be an evergreen somewhat. It has stayed in the top 10 even as of July. I've been seeing it pop up in many countries' top 10s, even in some countries being the top Switch game. So I do expect it to be at the very least over 10 million units sold. But it's a bit too early in its life cycle to say how far it will get. Overall, now that the top 10's on display, Mario Kart Deluxe at 46.82 million units. I expect it to. Okay, so at the very least, I do expect it to hit over 60 million units. I can see it hitting up 70 million. I could see it hitting 70 million units. Anything above that, I think, is possible, depending on the circumstances. However, will be very tricky, But yeah, I would say if I was giving like a very like surefire, I guess 60 to 70 million units lifetime. Animal Crossing, I do expect will it has slowed down quite a bit. I I I think its main target right now will be seeing if it can eclipse 50 million units lifetime, which is a massive sale considering the second best selling game is 13 million units, and there is a chance it could hit 15 million units lifetime. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's definitely a 30 million seller. I'm wondering, will Zelda Breath of the Wild outsell it though? Because if we scroll back on the chart here, ever since its launch, it seems to be having they seem to be selling about the same. There doesn't seem to be too much gain from either end. So I'm wondering if Legend of Zelda will end up overtaking it. And there is a chance it could, considering that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out next year, and it will probably boost the original sales as well. But yeah, I think both will be 30 million sellers. Uh, I uh, I think it is possible for both of them to also reach 40 million units. I don't think it'll reach 50 million units though. I don't think there is a very small chance I think Animal Crossing will be taken out of second place, considering the lead it has already over Smash Bros. 11 million, almost 11 million units lead, which is a very massive lead. It would take a lot for a game to try and dethrone the top two. The top two seems pretty set in place for the entire lifetime. Pokemon Sword and Shield is selling very slowly, as you can see, after Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl's launch. I'm actually overall lifetime sales. I think it'd be a stretch to say if we could hit 30 million lifetime sales. Looking at Super Mario Odyssey, even though Pokemon Sword and Shield overtook Super Mario Odyssey back in 2020, you can see that after Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl launched, that its sales slowed down and from most of 2022, Super Mario Odyssey has been gaining over it. So I do expect it to overtake Pokemon Sword and Shield, and well, it's not a surefire guess thing. It does have a chance of hitting 30 million units. Similar thing also happened to Super Mario Party after Super Mario Party Superstars launch, whereas you can see it slowed down considerably over the holiday season. And however, it wasn't slowed down as much as Pokemon Sword and Shield. Overall, I do think it will hit 20 million units. I'm not sure if it will hit 30 million units. It seems too far. But I think 25 million unit lifetime, I think, is a good guess. And that's being optimistic, considering it will continue to sell at this pace for the next couple of years. So 2022's pace. Overall, looking at Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you can see it was definitely a cash cow. Just seeing how it just barely cracked the top 10 after the holiday season, and then how slowly it did afterwards. You can see over April, May, and June, it didn't really sell that much more than Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So yeah, I think not too optimistic. I don't think it'll hit 20 million units, considering its pace right now. Ring Fit Adventure, I think, will hit 20 million units because it has been doing good since its launch in 2019. You can see it when it hits the top 10 at the end of the 2020. And it sells pretty decently. It will probably climb up into 8th place next quarter. And it's definitely a 20 million unit seller. Overall the sales are definitely down year on year. Well, while Nintendo does blame it on semiconductor shortages, I personally think it's just that the Switch is starting to get a little bit old, and that it's like, yeah, there's not a lot of like people that are super interested. Like, there are still a lot of people who overlook the Switch as a system. Like, it's like PS5, Xbox Series, but they don't really consider the Switch. But yeah. But yeah, overall, the Switch has a very impressive top 10 lineup. Looking at the franchises, Pokemon is the top selling. And yes, I know I did split the Mario franchise, but it would dominate the entire charts. As you can see, second and third place are both Mario franchises. The latter of which is only made by one game. Mario Kart Mario Deluxe single handedly brought the entire franchise for the Switch up into third place. I am gonna make once I do eventually update my charts, I will make a top 10 for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. I I do use a different system for that. I do look at it by publisher rather than franchise. For Nintendo Switch, I'd make an exception. I do it by that bottom chart is by franchise because most of the games that sell on Nintendo Switch are first party games. So it wouldn't it wouldn't be a fair comparison just to have Nintendo picking up the entire line graph. The top 10 are all Switch games. They're all Nintendo games. None a third party. Overall, with with Sony and Microsoft, the PlayStation, Xbox, they do have a very dominant third party as well, which is why I do a different chart because it would like this I'd have too many franchises to look at. But yeah, overall, that is pretty much it for this update. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for some new videos coming your way. If you like this video, please like this video and subscribe. And there is a Discord link in the description if you want to play with me on the Switch. My friend code is in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Bye.